Right, welcome back to another episode of Destination Scratch, and today, we are back on the driver. So since my last Destination Scratch video, I've played 3 rounds of golf, well 2.5 rounds of golf, and I drove the ball really well, to the point like all my confidence came back and I was hitting it straight, I was hitting it a long way. And then yesterday I went to Torquay and we did driver reviews for the Strix and stuff, and it just went to rat crap again, basically. It's in my head now that I'm just struggling with the driver. I'm not doing very well with it, and I need to sort it out. So when we were testing the drivers yesterday, we did a slow motion, and I'll put that up on the screen now. And what this slow motion shows, apart from a drop kick and a massive hook out of bounds, is that I lose height. So what I'm doing is I'm losing height on the backswing, and I'm dipping and losing height on the follow through, and that results in me grounding the club before the ball, and what you've seen many a time on the course logs is a drop kick. So today I am going in the sim and I'm trying to do a complete new swing, and basically it's going to be about keeping the height in my sort of posture. So instead of dropping down, I want to keep my height and try and follow through. Now, I'm not going to go at this full speed. I'm just going to do nice, easy drives and see if I can start hitting some fairways, because let's be honest, I'd rather be 250 yards down the fairway than 300 yards in the rubbish, because my misses are massive. It's not too bad going 300 yards in the rough if your misses are like marginal, but my misses are massive. Like, they're just off the screen massive. During the testing yesterday, I had one that was 80 yards left and one that was 50 yards right, and as Dan said, that's a 9-iron. There's a 9-iron distance between 2 drives, and I need to rein that in. If I'm going to get any better, I need to get this driver reined in a little bit, whether that means changing the driver or changing the swing. Something has to happen, because this driver is now in my head. Like, as soon as I get on the tee now, it's in my head. Don't send it out to the right, don't hook it left, don't drop kick it, and then you hit a bomb, and then it's like, why can't I just do that all the time? And the problem is because my swing's inconsistent. So I need to find a consistent swing that I can rely on all the time, and that's now going to relate to my irons as well. Although I'm hitting my irons well and I'm hitting quite a long way, there's a big tendency to do a pull hook, and I need to get that out of the system. I need to start thinking about my swing. So the first thing I'm going to do today is get into the simulator and stop drop kicking the ball. That is my sole purpose, is to stop drop kicking that ball. So let's get in the sim and let's talk about what I'm going to try and change today. Right, so I'm just going to show you what I mean with my 7-iron. So what I'm doing at the minute is, as I'm going back, I'm dropping, so my height, if I stand like this, I'm dropping down, and then as I come to the swing, I'm like loading up the legs and then trying to jump out of it and rescue it with the hands. And what that's causing me to do is just hit behind the ball, or with the driver is to drop kick it. And it happens a lot with 3 woods. In fact, it happens a lot with every club. Like, we'll catch the ground, sometimes a good foot behind the ball, bounce the club, and then sometimes I get away with it. Sometimes I don't get away with it so much with driver. I do get away with it a little bit with the 3 wood. But all it's doing is losing power, and I've literally got no idea where it's going. So what I'm trying to do is keep my posture up, and then as I go back, try and keep that height, and then just follow through and make the swing more like, just more natural. Instead of trying to hit everything as far as possible and as hard as possible, I want to try and just hit better shots. And if that means I lose distance, then so be it, because at the minute it's coming a little bit embarrassing. So I need to sort this out. So I've got a fairway down there, 40-yard fairway. I'm just going to get a couple of 7-irons to warm up, and then we're going to get the driver out and see what we mean. So all I'm doing is keeping my posture and then trying to not drop the head so much. So that shot, a nice draw, which I've got anyway, left side of the fairway, 54 yards carry is perfect. I mean, this 7-iron is now a 170 yard carry, but if I can get that 160, 165 and be in control of it, as opposed to 170, 175 and out of control, I'll take it all day. Just need to not drop the head so much. So that one there, 171 yards carry, but I felt so in control of it. Yes, it's missed target to the left, but I'm starting these fairly straight. I would aim a little bit more right, so I'm going to try and aim more right and bring it into the centre of the fairway as opposed to starting on the centre. But that swing felt so much more in control compared to what I have been doing. So just aim a little bit further to the right and try and bring it into the fairway, not drop the head. You can see with that one, it's just a perfect shot. Lovely and high. I mean, I get height anyway, but the launch 21, I'll take all day long. Good spin, good distance, 166. Like, why am I trying to hit the ball so hard? Like, that's just perfect. You know, what have I been doing for all this time? Just like golf, it is so frustrating. I think I get told these good like moves and things to do and coaching by Dan, but you can spend so much time practicing, you forget fundamentals when it comes to golf. And when we played yesterday, or did the testing yesterday, and Dan looked at the slow motion and said, "You're just losing all your height." Like, I know, so why am I keep doing it? Anyway, let's try the driver. Right then. Driver, this is going to be a little bit more difficult for me to keep my height, I think, just because of the extra length of the club. And like, for some reason, I just want to hit everything hard. I've got to get out of that mentality of trying to leather everything and be the longest driver and look at me and all that kind of stuff. I now need to be finding fairways. If I want to lower my handicap and get better at golf and not embarrass myself on YouTube, which I can do sometimes on these course vlogs, then I need to be better with this. I need to be more in play and stop trying to do stupid things. So let's try it with the driver. Don't drop your posture. I mean, I don't expect this to go anywhere near normal distance. I just want it to find a fairway. So that there is my miss. It's the heel shot that goes off to the right. Difference being that just faded off to the right. It didn't like go so far off right. It was unbelievable. And that's just because it was a heel shot. If I can get this out the center or out the toe, then that works. 238 isn't amazing, but that was down to strike. And you know, that's fine. It's carried 255. Yes, in the winter it's just going to plop and stop, but that's in play. That's what I need to be doing. Yeah, the speed's down, like 149 ball speed is about 15 to 20 down on normal, but that's in play and it's not over the road. Like, what have I been doing? There's nothing wrong with that shot. For a 9 handicap, that is fine. I don't need to be lashing at it. I mean, yes, hitting bombs is great, and you know, arguably, you know, that's my thing is speed, but speed doesn't always work. But what happens, I'm just going to stay with this, but I'm going to try and hit one harder to see what happens. Keep your head up. Yep, rubbish, 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 rubbish. Got to think about strike. Keep your head up. Like, there's just nothing wrong with that. I can play, if I can keep doing that all day, I'm in play all the time, and then I'm getting confidence with my driver. Right, let's have another go. Keep up your head, don't lose your height. So slightly pulled that one, but I want, if my miss can always be left, I can work with that. But it was a good shot, decent distance, just pulled it a bit. But what it didn't do is go off the planet. All right, let's just have one more then. Down the fairway. 268, be perfect, thank you very much, and we can move on. Like a click, isn't it? It's like a click in the head. I think that's what I need to work on, is keeping my height. Because when I'm not keeping my height, I'm doing drop kicks. When I'm keeping my height, I'm doing shots like that. Let's just test the 3-wood quickly. So I'm just going to have one shot with a 3-wood, just for my own like peace of mind and theory, really, because I do drop kick this a lot. Can I get this going, or am I going to thin it? There we go. Keep your height. Right, so there we go. There's another episode of Destination Scratch. And it's all about keeping my height. As you can see, the results speak for themselves. It's like chalk and cheese. So that's something I need to work on and get ingrained into my swing thought, is to keep my height and know that, you know, the fundamentals of my swing are there. I don't sway that much that anymore. The backswing and everything is fine. The big point for me, and it comes to a lot of fat shots and drop kicks, is losing my height. If I can keep my height in my swing, those results, they speak for themselves, really. You know, I've missed nothing right. I missed one shot and it was just right. If the miss can be left, I can work on that. I've got to cut out that high right, horrendous slice, because that is just a round killer. If I can do that, cut that out of my game, then I'll be better playing golf. I'll feel better when we're doing course vlogs, and I won't feel as embarrassed when I'm trying to like produce shots for reviews, because it can get a little bit like the pressure's on me to at least give a good shot, to be able to compare something to. What I don't want to be doing is being the letdown, basically, or the one that just, you know, people think, oh God, like, it does even play golf, bro. So I'm going to work on that for the time being, for coming up to Destination Scratch. I'm hoping at some point we can get Dan on and just work through a few little things that he can see for me to work on to keep getting lower. But working with Dan and Lester, it's like a massive help for me, because I get to see how golf's played properly, you know, how to keep in play, how to score, and it's only helping my game. I've just got to cut out the rubbish, because when it's good, it's phenomenal, but when it's bad, it's horrendous, and I need to bring the good down. Well, not necessarily good down, but I need to bring the bad up to the good, and maybe if we can find a level par or level playing field, then I can progress a little bit further in getting my handicap down and playing a little bit better golf, and being competitive, really, when it comes to being on the course vlogs, because I'm always seems to be the one that, apart from Yelverton when I won the foursomes, I'm always the one that's like either just throwing in hand grenades and ruining the score. I'm never really in contention to win, and I want to be in contention to win. Yes, that may mean using my shots, but they're there to be used, and I need to stop the ego and play better golf, and stop trying to just hit bombs and think, you know, that's all I'm there for, because it's not. I'm there to play good golf. They want to see me play good golf, and when I do play good golf, they're the first people, Dan and Lester, to congratulate me and, you know, say well done. So I want to be doing that more often, not being laughed at, which is fine. I can be laughed at. I'm happy to be laughed at, and I'm happy to be slated in the comments and stuff like that. Yeah, it's part of it. If I'm going to put myself out there for people to see, then I've got to expect the good and the bad. But what I want to do is get the good for good reasons and try and stop the bad comments, or try and stop as much as I can the bad comments. But thank you very much for watching. This has been another episode of Destination Scratch. I really appreciate you watching and subscribing. If you are new and you've not subscribed yet, please drop that subscribe button down below a little click, because it is free. You don't have to pay to be a subscriber. If you like what you're seeing, please drop this video a like, because it does help me with the algorithm with YouTube. And also comment below, you know, is this something you could work on? Do you have the same faults as I have, that you lose height, but you forget that you're losing height? I'd love to know, and I'd love to have a conversation with you. But otherwise, I'm pretty much done here for the time being, and I'll see you next time on Destination Scratch.